Hello friends, welcome back to my channel Piyush Zone. Myself Priya. Today I am going to discuss about presumptions under Indian Evidence Act. Presumptions are inferences which are drawn by the court with respect to the existence of certain facts. When certain facts are presumed to be in existence, the party in whose favor they are presumed to exist need not discharge the burden of proof. A presumption is said to operate where certain facts are taken to be in existence even there is no complete proof. A presumption is a rule where if one fact which is known as the primary fact is proved by a party, then another fact which is known as the presumed fact is taken as proved if there is no contrary evidence of the same. Types of presumptions. Presumptions are broadly classified into three groups. First, presumption of facts or natural presumption under section 86 to 88, 90, 113a, 114. Second, presumption of law or artificial presumption. Third, mixed presumptions, that is both law and fact. Now let us discuss one by one in detail. Now let us discuss the first one, that is presumption of facts. Presumption of facts are those inferences that are naturally and reasonably concluded on the basis of observations and circumstances in the course of basic human conduct. These are also known as material or natural presumptions. Natural presumptions are rebuttable in nature. There are few provisions that are directly expressing about natural presumptions, such as Section 86 to 88, Section 90, Section 113a, Section 113b of Indian Evidence Act, where Section 113a and 113b are one of the most important provisions of presumptions under this Act, whereas Section 86 talks about certified copy of foreign judicial records. Section 87 expresses presumptions of books, maps and charts. Section 88 deals with presumption related to telegraphic messages. Section 90 deals with documents aged 30 years old. Section 113a deals with presumption as to abatement of suicide by a married woman. And Section 113b deals with the presumption as to dowry death. Under the presumption of facts, the concept of shall presume is utilized. The court will presume that a fact ascertained before them are proven facts until and unless they are proven disproved by the accused. Now let us discuss about the presumption of law or artificial presumption. Presumption of law are such inferences and beliefs which are established or assumed by the law itself. It can further be divided into rebuttable presumptions of law and irrebuttable presumptions of law. Now let us discuss rebuttable presumptions of law. These kinds of presumptions arise when presumptions of law are certain legal rules defining the amount of evidence requisite to support a particular allegation, which facts being proved may be either explained or rebutted by evidence to the contrary but are conclusive in absence of such evidence. For example, a man is presumed innocent until he is proved guilty. A child is born in a legal wedlock shall be presumed legitimate, and one who questions his legitimacy must disprove it. Matrimonial offences are one of the best examples to explain any presumption because in such offence the possibility of getting evidence is nearly low, as these offences that take place within the closed area of matrimonial dispute. One of the case, State of Madhya Pradesh versus S.K. Lallu, 1990, CRI LJ 129. A newly wedded wife was facing severe beating regularly by her in-laws from the very first day of her marriage, and at last she ends up dying with 100% of burn injuries. The court executed the application of presumption stated under Section 113a and explained that such presumption can be invoked to punish the accused. Now let us discuss about irrebuttable presumption. Such presumptions cannot be ruled out by any additional probative evidence or argument. Therefore, the presumption explained comes under the roof of conclusive presumption which cannot be proven contrary. Example, a child under the age of 7 years is presumed that he is not capable of committing a crime. Few conditions where court may use the presumption of law to ascertain some facts. First one, presumption of innocence. The presumption of innocence is a legal principle which means every person should be considered as an innocent person unless it is proven guilty. The case regarding this is Dattaram Singh versus State of UP. In this case, the Supreme Court said that a person should be presumed and believed to be innocent unless proven guilty. Second, presumption of death. This refers to a situation where a person has disappeared for 7 years and after such situations, the law presumes him to be dead. The case regarding this is T.K. Ratnam versus K. Varadarajulu, 1970, Andhra Pradesh, 246. Now let us discuss about the third condition, that is presumption of sanity. This refers to the mental state of a person facing a criminal trial. Specifically, the court assumes that every person is sane and is fit to his mental capacity until someone proves contrary to the assumptions of the court. The fourth condition is presumption of possession. Section 110 deals with such presumption and explains it as when a person who is enjoying the possession of anything and he claims himself as the owner, then the court inferences that he is the real owner. These are rebuttable presumptions. Now let us move on to the third presumption, that is mixed presumption, presumption of fact and law both. When the court in its inferences uses such blend consists of different classification of presumption, that is presumption of facts and presumption of law, then the presumption is considered to be a mixed presumption. Mixed presumptions are certain inferences which can be considered as observations of law due to their strength and importance. Presumption can be divided into three categories: may presume, second shall presume, third conclusive proof. Let us discuss one by one in detail. Now let us discuss about may presume. Section 4 of the Indian Evidence Act provides that a fact or a group of facts may be regarded as proved until and unless they are disproved. The concept is defined under Section 4 of Indian Evidence Act that may presume deals with rebuttable presumption and is not a branch of jurisprudence. Second, shall presume. Shall presume denotes a strong assertion or intention to determine any fact. Section 4 explains that the court does not have any discretionary power in the course of presumption of shall presume. Rather, the court has presumed facts or groups of facts and regard them as if they are proved until they are disproved by the other party. The third one, conclusive proof. This can be considered as one of the strongest presumptions a court may assume, but at the same time, the presumptions are not completely based on logic. Rather, court believes that such presumptions are for the welfare and upbringing of the society. These are irrebuttable form of evidence. The general definition of conclusive proof is a condition where one fact is established, then the other facts or conditions become conclusive proof of another. The court in its consideration shall regard all other facts to be proved only if one fact of the case is proven without any reasonable doubt. Now let us conclude. In Tukaram versus State of Maharashtra 1979-2 Supreme Court case 143, this case was decided on considering the facts of Mathura rape case, and while adjudicating the case, the court justified the need and necessities of such presumptions. The court also explained that presumptions had a wider scope as they don't only help the victim in the fast trial, but it also helps in giving directions to the case. Therefore, such presumptions can effectively help the judiciary in providing quick and complete justice to the society. In this video, I have summarized the presumptions. Please go through. So this much regarding about presumptions under Indian Evidence Act. If you like the video, then please subscribe to my channel and please click on bell icon for further notifications. Thank you.